Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer Matarese, and before I start putting out new episodes again, I wanted to make a short little recording to explain to everybody who's not in the Patreon, because I explained to them. But to everybody else, I wanted to explain to you where I have been the past several months and why I have not recorded a new episode since May. Now, nothing to worry about, nothing serious, nobody died, I didn't have any sort of serious medical issue. Well, I did have to pass a kidney stone in July and had to go to the ER twice, but that's not why I didn't record anything since May. And my mental health is, well, it's not great, but it's not the reason that I did not record anything for 3 months. No, I had to move. Very simple, I had to move. I was in my last apartment for 20 years, going on 21. I was not planning on leaving because the apartment, despite its flaws, it sloped downhill, the stairs sloped to the right, the wallpaper was older than me, the carpet was older than me, the wood paneling on the walls was older than me, everything was older than me. And it wasn't the fanciest apartment in the world, but I was paying an absurdly low rent to live there. So I wasn't planning on leaving anytime soon. I was not going to leave unless they carried me out in a coffin. However, we got a new landlord in January, and when they were touring, they saw all of these, old ceiling tiles and old carpeting and old wallpaper and old wood paneling. They saw the wear and tear of 20 years on an apartment, and they saw the wear and tear of having a dog in the apartment who is a very good boy. Professor is a very good boy, but he is a terrible roommate. You know that? He's an absolutely terrible roommate. Anyway, yeah. So between those, the landlord decided not to renew my lease at the end of June, which I completely understand. But also that meant that I needed to get everything out of that apartment and into a new apartment by the end of June. Mostly by myself. My brother helped me move over my bed and a couple other things, and my dad helped me get some stuff out of the apartment towards the end, but nearly everything was me. Which sucks. I don't recommend it. A 48-year-old woman in a Kia Soul? No, I don't recommend moving with that as your parameters. Anyway, basically every waking hour of May through June that I wasn't at the factory or at dog camp, I was in one apartment or the other, moving things in, moving things out, putting things on the curb, throwing out garbage, trying to decide which books were going to come with me, which was pretty much all of my disaster books. And I want to say a quarter of all of the books I had before. And I had a lot of them. Yeah. So I am now in my new apartment, starting at the beginning of July, just completely in the apartment, me and Professor. And so it has been a lot of unpacking and decorating and, replacing things that I had to throw out and getting new things. I had to get a boneless couch because I didn't have a couch. My futons wouldn't fit out the door. And it was just, cross communication of how are we going to get the futons that I had in my old apartment out. And I finally just left them in the apartment because I didn't have any other option. But anyway, I am now fully in the new apartment. It took a little while to kind of decompress because my mental health, like I said, it's not great, but it's not the reason that I was not recording for 3 months. It's just not great after all of that. Anyway, I am now in the new apartment fully. Every once in a while, I have driven past the old apartment and I can tell there's construction going on inside, although I can't see what it is, but I'm sure that I will check apartments.com or something in a month or two and it'll be up for rent and I can see just how much more it costs to live in that apartment and what they've improved. Anyway, yeah, I'm in the new apartment. The past couple of weeks, I have gotten back into working on the podcast and hopefully I will have a new episode to put out next week. And I'm going to try to get back and fit into a schedule. We'll see how it works out. I think something that will really help with that is that next Friday, I am scheduled to take an ADHD test. I have just been making way too many jokes about needing an ADHD test, and it's it's genetic. My brother has ADHD, and I had been dismissing any sort of ADHD symptoms for years as either anxiety or depression. But I decided to schedule a test, and when I told my brother, the one who has ADHD, he said, "Oh yeah, you're going to get a diagnosis," which bodes well. If you want a diagnosis and you want to be treated for it, then I want to be diagnosed. So if I have it, hopefully I can get diagnosed and get on some medication, and maybe that will help me get some structure and put out episodes of this podcast in a timely manner and on a schedule. Although what I really need is like a boss who will make me finish things, stand over me and go, "So, have you got that script on the Challenger disaster?" Which is on my request list, and I really am going to get to that one of these days. Oh, God, I have so many things on my request list that I have to do, but now I'm in a new apartment, so we'll see how all of this goes. But thank you guys for being patient. I did have a couple of people who messaged me to say, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I just had to deal with one of the most stressful things I've had to do in years." Oh, good Lord. I don't recommend moving unless you're rich and you can pay somebody else to pack everything up and move it for you. I certainly do not want to do that ever again. It was not fun. So I'm going to go back to writing tonight. And hopefully sometime next week, I will be able to put out an episode for you guys. I'm currently working on a nice little shipwreck. So we will see how this goes. Everybody cross your fingers, knock on wood, do whatever you can to send me some good vibes, and we'll see how this goes. But if you really want to help out, because my rent, like I said, is more than twice what it was before, listen to my ads. If you are just listening to the podcast on the main feed, because that helps me towards my rent. And also, you can always sign up for Patreon. You'll get new episodes ad-free when I record them rather than when they go out on the main feed. And that'll help me keep a roof over my head, which would make sure that I can keep doing this podcast. So thank you guys so much for being so patient, and I hope you guys are having a great summer and enjoying yourselves. And next week it will be back to our regularly scheduled or irregularly scheduled, as it is, doom and gloom. Thanks, guys. Until then, stay safe.